Want to have an ending as dramatic as Matt Colville's beginning? Want to actually finish a campaign, not just move aimlessly until it peters out? Well, stick to the end of this video. I'll give you the 6 steps in order to creating the ending to your campaign. Welcome back, storytellers. My name's Khalil Roberson, an experienced dungeon master here to help you pursue your fantasy. And in this video series, I'm going to be going through the steps in which I build my own campaigns, and I'm going to be building this campaign alongside of you. And I believe the very best place to start is with the ending. So let's get into it. Alright, step number 1 is to start with one word. Now, what do I mean by this? When you're creating the ending of your campaign, use one word in order to focus down on what exactly you want your ending to be. Whether or not that word is betrayal, loss, epic, fight, roleplay, twist, whatever your word is, use that word in order to pinpoint and focus what you want your last session or you want the ending of this climactic campaign to begin. Because once you figure out what that word is, you can then move on into describing it. And for the campaign that we are going to be making together along with this video series, our word is going to be betrayal. So, as we're going throughout this entire video series, think of that one word, betrayal, and we'll finally make a campaign ending that'll suffice to that. Alright, let's move on to the next step. Step number 2 is to brainstorm ideas. So take out a pen and paper and just start writing out one sentence ideas on what would lead your ending of the campaign to this one singular focus words. And by the end of this process, you should at least have 3 sentences for your brainstorm ideas. That way we can start moving closer to making this ending to your campaign. And quest of the day. What are some brainstorm ideas that you can have that lead to our focus word, betrayal? Pay attention to all my different social medias, as I'll be posting them right here and down in the description. As in the coming process of us doing this campaign series, I'm going to be asking you guys questions on how we build this campaign together collaboratively. And the last video in this series will have the campaign fully made for you guys using this system in which you guys can then use it whenever you want or just simply have it in the backdrop. All right, let's move on to the next step. 3. Cross off any that don't immediately excite you. So now that you have the small little list of campaign ending ideas, just start crossing out the ones that don't excite you. And usually you should probably have either 1 if you did 3, or you should have a couple left. In which a pro tip that you can do on top of that is if you have a couple of them left, try to see if you can string them together in order to make one overarching idea that's a lot more fleshed out already, just using those one sentence ideas and that you came up with. All right, so let's move on to step number 4. Step number 5 is to bullet out your story arcs. Now that we have the ending pretty much already thought up of and it's really complex, we know what it's going to be, how is the party going to get to the ending? And that's where the story arcs come in. So for all of you who don't know what a story arc is, basically it's just major plot points that lead the party to this ending that we've already decided and already have created. So once you're starting to bullet out your various plot points, a very important thing that has to go into your story arcs is pacing. Pacing. You don't want it to go too fast as it will feel like a roller coaster and your players will never know how they ever got there. And you don't want it to go too slow because then they'll get bored and it leads us to ending out to peter out. And I actually made a very important video on my story on how I failed in the story arc or the pacing of my campaign and how it really sucks. So that'll be up over here in this area. So go ahead and click that in order to learn about story arc pacing and whatnot. So let's move on to step number 6. Step number 6. Make the bare bones of the final encounter. So we already have basically what the final encounter is going to be, with that one word that describes it, the sentence that elaborates on top of it, all the different story beats are going to lead up to it. Now let's actually make that final encounter. But wait, no plan ever survives contact with the party. So don't make the final encounter fully fleshed out yet. Just make the bare bones. Make who are the major combatants in the encounter, the terrain, the different environments that's going to be involving it, all these different things that in this final encounter, in order to give this ending to the campaign that you want. Prep all the bare bones of it, what you kind of want there. You don't need to go any noodly in order to actually throw mechanics in. You can literally just write that, oh, there's a trap here, the terrain's this, they're fighting this person, and this is this epic thing that's going to be happening. That's all you really need. Just make the bare bones, because as your party's going through these different story arcs, they themselves are going to be giving you all the information that you need in order to challenge them and truly make it epic to that party specifically. I really hope you enjoyed this video today. If you really liked it, feel free to sneak attack that like button. And if you really liked it, please feel free to subscribe as I post new content just like this for DMs just like you and all storytellers like you, for instance, in order to get better at creating your stories and have much more elaborate story creation. And really stick tuned to the rest of this campaign, writing your own campaign series, as we have about 5 more videos after this one that are going to be posting weekly. I hope you have a fantastic day. I love all of you. And in a world without fantasy, Sometimes we need a little Dungeons and Dragons.